What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to the Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode number 67. We got the whole crew here this week. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate.
Hey guys.
We got Topher.
Hi.
And the whole effing Brian.
Yeah. Woo.
Everybody is super excited today. That's pretty. It's pretty impressive. Let's jump right in and talk about what we've been reading. Topher, have you had a chance to read anything?
Yeah, I'm yawning. Let's see here. I have read. I wanted to start reading Original Sin because I still haven't done that. So I was looking on the Marvel Unlimited app at like all the issues that tie in, and it started off with the Fantastic Four series from like a year prior to that, and I was kind of confused, but I started reading it anyway because I'm like, you know what the hell? It's only like the first story arc, and so I've never actually read a Fantastic Four book before. I don't think, maybe like years ago, but so I checked it out, and I mean, so far it's not bad. It's kind of interesting. It's fun, and I don't. This is the series from 2012, I guess, that Matt Fraction wrote, and it's funny because I made a comment when we were talking about the Fantastic Four movie trailer that came out, and I said something about I liked that it looked like it was more realistic sci-fi and it wasn't too like over the top like. And I think I even said that it wasn't like too fantasy based, like, and I thought about that ever since, and I was like, you know what, that seems silly because while it was kind of old school campy sci-fi, like there was also a really strong element of the fantastic. I mean, it was the Fantastic Four, and reading just a few issues from Fraction here, like. It's got some kind of element of like this, old school family fun, fantastic sci-fi thing to it, and I thought that was really cool. And in looking at the movie trailer again, I'm thinking, like I don't know if like the gritty thing really works for this. So it may have changed my opinion somewhat on the trailer for the new movie. So. We'll see if that's any good or not. And then the other thing I've been reading is Simon Spurrier's X-Force, the series that started, I guess, about a year ago. The current run of X-Force. I basically they took.
That
was neat.
I don't know what
that was really special.
My computer turned on and it gave me a second screen.
we straight just had doppelganger Brian on the fucking call.
Parallel universes.
Yeah, it's like,
Marvel.
It's like the motherfucking multiversity up in this bitch.
we had Ultimate Brian over here. So basically, there were when Marvel Now started, there were two different X-Force series. One with Cable and X-Force, and the other one was Uncanny X-Force. And one followed Cable's team, and one followed Psylocke's team. And the Cable and X-Force was really good. I thought Dennis Hopeless wrote it, same guy who did like Avengers Arena, and he's great in Avengers Undercover now, and a couple other titles. I think Spider-Woman. And the other one was. The Uncanny X-Force with like Psylocke and Storm and Puck and Spiral and Bishop, like the characters, they just weren't my favorite. So they decided that they didn't need two X-Force books, and they combined them into one. And I read the first issue actually several months ago, and I didn't really care for it. It seemed kind of boring. Like some mutant blows up in some city, Alexandria somewhere, and now the world, like all these arms conferences are trying to sell weapons to countries all over the planet to get rid of mutants. It just didn't seem like the story really tied into anything. Like it's the problem when you have so many titles, the X-Men titles or titles across the company or whatever, is unless other books make reference to events in a book, it almost feels when there were only a few titles, running throughout like the 80s or whatnot, anything that happened felt important because it was the only book, for that group, and so everything felt like it was the main storyline. Now when I'm reading like 6 different X-Men titles right now, and something happens in one, and it's like none of the other books even reference that character, or reference that event happened, and so it makes it hard to feel like any of this is important. It's like, so something blew up and the world's in a tizzy right now. Is it really though? Because the other 5 books don't even mention it. So everything feels really isolated. You've got that many titles, and it's hard to feel like any of this really matters. But so I dropped it for a while. But I picked it up again recently and read the next few issues, and it actually started to get kind of good. And I've just basically finished the first story arc, but I really like the characterization. Like it's Cable, Psylocke, Phantom X, who I really don't give a shit about, but Marrow of the Morlocks, they brought her back for this, and then Cable's daughter Hope is kind of tangentially in it, and it's been pretty decent. So I'm going to keep reading it. Hopefully, at least he's writing the characters well, So like I didn't like necessarily where the story was going at first, but it took a twist and it got better, and the characters are well voiced. So we'll see how that one goes.
Right on. I'll jump in next, I guess. So I tried to branch out after having talked to Chuck Moore in our last episode, and hearing like just the depth of what different kinds of comic books he was reading. I'm gonna try and make a consistent effort to branch out and read more than just my typical DC or Hulk stuff, and try and branch out. So I read some Image comics this week. I read a trade paperback titled Birthright. It was volume 1. It's an awesome story. I really enjoyed it a lot. It's kind of a story about a kid is at the park playing with his father, and they're playing fetch or toss.
Fetch.
Whatever.
Your boy.
I don't have any kids.
Somebody's been playing with his dog too much.
Yeah, that's it. So they're playing toss, and the dad throws the ball and it goes into the woods. The kid goes and chases the ball, and he gets lost in the woods and then taken to this like alternate dimension, basically, called Tyrannos, which is like a warring world where he is. Excuse me. It's thought that he is like destined to be the hero of that planet and like kind of take back control and end the centuries of war, and the war ends up spilling back over to Earth, and there's battles in Earth, and looks like Phantom Brian is back on the call again somehow. I don't know how we keep having this.
My phone doesn't like burns out and shuts off when I'm on this. For some reason it doesn't like.
This is a really special episode. So I guess we'll just keep going and see what happens here.
Short bus special, or
yeah, right, exactly. So I really enjoyed the story. It has good art. It has a really engaging story that really just kind of one of those stories that it kind of keeps you going. Like it kind of makes you want to read the next page. Every page is kind of like, oh, I can't wait to see what's next. So it was about 130 pages, I think, for the trade paperback. It was really good. I would highly recommend it. Then the other Image comic I read was just a single issue. It was #1 of Big Man Plan, which, disclaimer, is a very adult-themed comic for sure. It's about a
big man.
Well, it's about a dwarf, not a like Lord of the Rings dwarf, but like a midget. Not to be politically incorrect or whatever, but here's Topher showing off his pussy again. It's about a dwarf that was treated very cruel growing up. Went through some hardship in the Vietnam War era and was kind of looked down upon, but was also trained in military tactics and things. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it looks like he's going to be going back to his hometown for vengeance on those who mistreated him and his family because of his.
It's a great reason to go back to your hometown.
Because of his disability, or him being short. I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it. There was some really funny parts, but again, it's very crude adult humor. So this is definitely not something you want to pick up for a kid. I read Batman Eternal, which was, as usual, really good. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm tired of guessing who the fuck the villain is. I read Princess Leia #1.
Oh, damn it, I need to get that.
Which was I enjoyed that one too. The way that they portray Leia in the book is...
Sexy?
No, it's like all of the rebel fighters see her as like a fucking cold-hearted bitch, basically. Which is really an interesting perspective, and when you kind of got to read it. I don't want to ruin it for you because that's a big piece of the storyline, but it's really interesting to see the rebel fighters' perspective of what's going on at that time in the Star Wars universe.
She kind of is a cold-hearted bitch, though.
I mean, a little bit, and they really shed light on it too. The way that they do it, it kind of shows her in that cold-hearted bitch and growing into hopefully a better person. I mean, we all know kind of where it goes. So, and then
kisses her brother.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I read was Green Lantern, the current Green Lantern. Brian, did you get a chance to read this?
No, I don't pick up Green Lantern, but I saw the description on MidtownComics.com, and I haven't picked anything up this week yet, and that was part of my pull list because supposedly the synopsis looks really good, and it's leading into him without a ring.
He has no ring. It's the
he has no ring already?
It's the issue where he gets rid of his ring. He I hate to spoil it, really.
I read the description, and I know there's a big fight that people are going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, spoilers. So it starts out, and, like, he's discussing with Kilowog the fact that, like, they're policing the entire, they're policing the universe, and the people don't want them policing the universe because they don't trust the Green Lantern because of all the Green Lanterns, because of all the bad things that have happened, and he's trying to get the Green Lanterns to be able to be the good guys again, and he thinks that the best way to do that is to portray himself as the bad guy. That way he can, as the leader of the Corps, he can take all the fault. All the blame will fall on him, and then if the Green Lantern Corps arrests him, then they will be the good guys again, and everybody will see that it was just Green Lantern Hal Jordan that was causing all of the perceived problems. So it's to do it. He steals Kronos's gauntlet.
Glove?
Yeah, Power Glove.
Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah, basically, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to. Topher has informed me that I give away endings too much, so I don't want to. I'm gonna make a concerted effort to stop doing that. So read the book, and we'll talk about it next month or whenever the next issue comes out.
See, that paves the way for like a new, younger, different Green Lantern to maybe get the spotlight for a while.
She's still not in the book.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
I know. Pirate, what have you been reading, man?
Let's see. I just kind of went through some stuff I had. Some digital stuff. What did I read this week? Read a couple Walking Deads because I've kind of fell off the show. Like, I don't know. The last couple episodes have been actually the last couple that I've seen. I haven't watched the most recent two, I think. But this half of the season, I'm just kind of like not really feeling the show. So I just kind of went back to my comic books a few. I'm still like I'm still way back on the comics. Like, I mean, I'm probably up around like 50-ish. You know what I mean? So I still got a lot to read.
That's
What
kind
else
of a
I
good
read?
thing, though, you know? Like, because it's like one of those things, like, I always hate, like, if you jump in on something and you're like, damn, I'm really enjoying this. Like, Forever Evil, for example.
Mhm.
I really loved it, but it was like forever until the next, it felt like such a long
Yeah.
time between when you got to fucking read especially the ending, because they pushed it out
back.
and pushed it out and pushed it out. It's kind of a nice like situation to be able to read a lot of material in a row, kind of like what Topher did with like X-Men and stuff, to be able to just go through and get whole story arcs from start to finish and not like have to wait a long time.
And plus,
You know,
it's nice because it's just one book that I'm having to read. I don't have to read any tie-ins. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's
right,
just a
yeah.
series where it's just you start at one and then you just go.
Yeah.
But I read some of that. I read some random Punisher stuff like his Max Hardcores and stuff like that. Just kind of getting through those, and nothing really exciting though. Nothing like no big like arcs or nothing in anything that I've read. Yeah, I mean it's pretty. I haven't as far as new stuff's been. I haven't read anything new. Like I think the last new 52 stuff I've read, um, God, it's probably been since like the late 20s, early 30s.
Oh wow.
Since I was reading all their stuff going through, because I went back and started reading all the older stuff that I'd missed and some other titles that they've stopped making and stuff like that. Um, so my current stuff is, I'm starting to be like Topher, where everything is just that I read is old. You know? Hell, he's just starting Original Sin. That's almost a year old now.
I know it's like ancient, but there's
nothing
something
wrong
to be
with
said
that.
for like collecting an entire arc and then reading it all the
Yeah,
way
that's what
through.
I'm saying.
That is true. Until you get you spend all your money on an arc and then get halfway through it and be like,
Yeah,
this
and then
sucks.
find out it's shit.
Yeah, which is basically
It's like
what everybody else did.
it's like binge
Yeah.
watching a TV show though. Like I finally caught up on Arrow, and now it's like, wait a minute, I have to wait for a new episode to come
Yeah.
out. This
Yeah.
doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian? What have you been reading?
So I started reading another series that's been out since March. That started March of 2013, and it's East of West by Jonathan Hickman. I probably read the first 3 volumes in probably about a week. It's basically, as my throat wants me to die. It's a really cool concept. It's basically set in a dystopian United States, and it's the Four Horsemen. It's basically like the world hasn't really the country hasn't really expanded since the Civil War, but they still have technology and stuff like that. And it's basically a dystopian United States that the fate rests in the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And it's really weird how they did it, because the book opens up with 3 of the Four Horsemen being reborn, but they're children, like they're 10-year-olds. And it's like has that science fiction western vibe, almost like
Like Wild Wild West or something.
no, it's more like, you ever watch the series when it was on Cartoon Network, Trigun?
Yes.
It's almost like that. How all these places are like, the country isn't whole. It's more like divided into different sections and stuff like that. And like the main antagonist that you follow is the Horseman Death. And for some reason he's not with the other 3 horsemen. He's like on his own little journey. And the 4 horsemen are trying to get together, trying to get to him and get together because to bring the apocalypse. And it's just this awesome like story, just like seeing all like the different areas of the world and the different factions. It's really cool. It's like it's written really well. The art is really awesome. The story is really awesome. They even recently, in the recent last year or this beginning of this year, they released an almanac, like a short few issue comic that has a little story in the beginning, and then has an almanac of where each location is present, and a little synopsis on the background of that area and stuff like that. Like, for instance, like the 13 colonies, the original 13 states, is like the United States, like it's the Republic. Then you have the Native Americans have their own technologically advanced section in the North Midwest. California is mostly Chinese. Like Texas, they're like the Cowboys. They have their own little republic in Texas and a few of those. It's really cool. It's really...
I might have to start reading that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's a really, really good story. I mean, Jonathan Hickman's done like Avengers, and I can't think of what else he's done.
Which
off the top.
sucked.
Yeah, but he's still a good writer.
He is. I loved him on New Avengers.
Yeah, he
Avengers was kind of meh, and he wrote the old the previous Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation stuff before that. He's kind of the one who's writing. He's the one writing Secret Wars.
He wrote Infinity also.
Yes.
But it's by Image. It's an excellent story. Besides Scott Snyder's American Vampire, I don't think I've read anything so fast to catch up with the current issues than I did with this.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out. All right,
What
let's.
is this catching up with current issues thing you speak of?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
right.
just can't put it down, and I read and read and read, and then finally I'm just like, I have nothing. Like you were saying, I have nothing else to read. When does it come out?
Yeah. All right, this week, I think we're gonna skip tabletop game of the week this week. We don't really have enough time for it. Yeah, that's an honest sigh of relief from Topher.
No, he's doing it because he knows that I've already got the next two lined up, and now he's just fucking with me.
Yeah. We got a late start today, so. All right, let's talk about some news. There's not a boatload of news, but there's a few things that I would definitely like to cover. First of all, I think this is really cool. AMC has released a thing that they're going to be doing that is called the Earth's Mightiest Movie Marathon. Have any of you heard of this?
No, I'm guessing it's going to be all the Avengers-related
It
Marvel
is
Universe.
11 movies back to back to back leading up to Age of Ultron. So it will be at AMC theaters starting at 6 p.m. for the first movie, and then the final movie, which is Avengers Age of Ultron, will start at 7 p.m. the next night.
Jesus.
It is here's the movies in order: Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World, Captain America Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron.
God, and I thought the all day long
Lord of the
Rings marathon was a bladder buster.
Holy shit!
And there are no significant breaks between movies.
So they
let's
just
be
start
honest.
one after another.
They want you to get their money at the
all.
store.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
seen them all. You can get up and go pee during.
how many
full
times have
parts
you
of
seen
any of them.
the Phase 1 movies? Like, I've seen Iron Man
billion.
about a billion times. So,
Yeah.
at least during those movies, you know when to go to the bathroom. You know when to get up and get a snack.
But I mean,
you know when to
can
take a
you
nap.
imagine how much the tickets
During the
would
credits.
be? How much do you think the tickets would be?
Oh, I don't know.
Not that much. When they reshow the older movies, they typically don't charge
Oh,
much for it.
It's,
I mean,
No, there's
Well,
got. I bet it's
When I-
crazy expensive.
When I seen the three, or tried to see the three new Hobbit films, I think it was $26 for all three of them.
Was that after or before you saw 50 Shades of Grey?
That. What are you talking about? 50 Shades
Before.
of Grey. Before and after. I watched it multiple times.
I would really like to know if anybody can figure out how much. Supposedly these tickets are on sale now. If any of you can,
Are they doing it at only select theaters, or are they doing that like nationwide, or what?
I don't know. And that's another
I would
bit of it.
assume it's all AMC movie theaters.
If you go to Fandango, you can probably see how much they are.
Fandango.
Let's see if
Yeah.
we can. Let's see if we can find out how much that is. Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Poo-poo.
No, Mightiest Movie Marathon.
Now, well, as you're looking this up, I have the pleasure of my comic book shop that I go to has rented out a theater nearby and is selling tickets for IMAX 3D. And during the movie, before or after the movie, they're doing a raffle and giving away some hefty prizes. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Get tickets. It is. Give me a price, motherfucker.
Free.
Sure.
But you have to paint yourself green and rampage through the theater.
It doesn't.
Oh, it's only select theaters.
$25 for regular.
That's not bad.
No,
Yeah,
and that's
Sele-
3D too, and it's
select
26 hours. 26 hours of film.
Boston, Boston, Burbank, Anaheim, Ventura, Florida, New York, Paramus,
They have it at the one right here.
like Buena Vista, San Francisco, Linwood, Washington, and McLean, Virginia.
They have it here and
God.
at Newport on the Levee in Kentucky.
By
Oh,
like
really?
Yep.
by like hour 5 or 6,
I would be
wonder
tired.
how bad that theater will start smelling.
I'm just saying, like, how, like, you have to eat multiple meals in
I
between.
know.
You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
they
Like,
like.
you
But
have
it's
to.
not. But think of it, it's not multiple meals. It's like soda, candy, popcorn.
No, I would
How about-
leave and like our local theater. There's multiple restaurants within walking distance. I would like leave, go get a burger, and come back. Like during Iron Man 3, for example.
Or Thor 2.
You know what though? Here's the thing. I went to that last marathon because I was under the impression like you can't bring anything in like
You
any
just
other
bring whatever
movie.
the fuck you want.
These guys were bringing in backpacks and bags full of food and shit. They brought in their
Hot
own
Pockets.
stuff. Dude, I was like trying to like secretly
Little
like
bottle
like,
to pee in.
I had multiple little pints of like whiskey and bourbon and shit in my jacket pockets. Like,
Did
I
you
was
have a
at a
utility
party.
belt of alcohol?
no, but
Basically.
I want to build one. I've thought about it several times.
So if anybody any of our listeners are planning on going to this Earth's Mightiest Movie Marathon, the 11 Avengers movie or 11 Marvel movies leading up to Avengers Age of Ultron, let us know. Like, I mean, let us know if you're planning on doing this and what your like strategy is, because this is a serious fucking time commitment. This isn't just like a 4-hour thing or something like that. This is over a full day straight through.
You know what my luck would be is I would go there and watch it, and right before Age of Ultron is, my body would just shut down and I'd
You'd
crash
fall
and I'd
asleep.
sleep through all of Age of Ultron.
I would say that is probably going to be a common problem.
Like it would have been a good movie, but I slept through it. You know, like
Right.
How many people have IV bags?
Right.
catheters.
I'll pitch this to the rest of the squad. If a viewer goes and does this and wears a diaper and you have proof that you kept on using diapers, we will pitch in and buy you a statue of your choice.
Oh man, that could get
You gotta send
expensive.
Brian. You gotta
Wow.
send Brian.
Yeah,
the,
but there's
you
4
gotta
of us,
send
so it should be
Brian-
No, that could get expensive because of the next news story that I'm about to say.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you could.
Diapers are on the rise.
You literally could not have pitched that at a worse time. Apparently, on BigBadToys.com, they are now taking pre-orders for a 1/6 size Hulkbuster statue, which is
1/6.
badass. It weighs 21 pounds, It's made of metal. It's the whole Hulkbuster that you've seen in the trailers. Retail price to pre-order it, you have to put down a $100 down payment, and the total price is $824.
Okay, nothing exceeding $300 if you wear it. Actually, $400 because there's 4 of us. But you need proof.
And Brian has to collect that proof and smell it and make sure it's authentic.
Yeah, I have to make sure it's actual duty and not a Snickers bar chewed up.
I would love. I'm really honestly like, as ridiculously priced as this particular statue is. I have the Art Effects Avengers Hulk statue.
Like Kobayashi or
yeah.
Kotobukiya.
Yeah, and it is awesome. Pirate, you've seen it. It's extremely detailed. It's really, really well done. I love it. It's far and away my favorite Hulk collectible that I have. I got it for Christmas from my girlfriend. I would love to get an Art Effects Hulkbuster to be able to display next to the two, because it would kind of look like they're fighting. And I just think that would make for a really, really awesome and kind of unique display on the shelf in my office.
Well,
but for $800, I don't see myself getting that one.
Kotobukiya also is making it's a 2-piece, but they connect. It's a Hulk fighting the Hulkbuster. I know the Hulk's like $100 and the Hulkbuster's like $200 or something like that. But the stands piece together and they're like in the position of them fighting.
I would be interested in something like that for $300. I could get behind that, but I don't.
But they're not the like art. I don't know if they're the.
Are they Art Effects?
But those artifact statues behind me on that bookshelf, I have the Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man of the same line as that Hulk.
Oh man, those are so awesome.
Yeah, they're awesomely detailed. Same with their DC line.
All their statues are totally top notch.
Yeah.
We should make some Comic Book Nerd Nation statues. We could have Brian fighting tuberculosis.
That sounds about right.
Or Brian fighting to pinch a loaf.
It is $199 on Amazon. They've got it right now. I don't know if that's a pre-order. Yeah, it's a pre-order. Looks like delivery date will be in August. $199. It's a pretty badass statue. I would say I will probably buy that and just set it right next to my Hulk statue.
Yeah.
I see the linking Hulk one now. Yeah, I might have to get that too. Fuck, this is going to be an expensive summer.
Their stuff is amazing.
It really is. For the price. Like if anybody that's listening right now, if you haven't purchased any Art FX statues from, I'm going to say it wrong again, how do you say it?
Kotobukiya.
You really need to look into it, because they're, compared to other statues of that production quality and detail, they are incredibly cheap.
Anywhere from like $45 to $65.
Yeah,
which is excellent.
Maybe a little bit more expensive for some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Maybe 100. In this case, 200. But in comparison, I mean, look, you're getting a $200 Hulkbuster statue. The main competitor for that is $830. Like, that's a huge price difference. That's significance, and the level of detail does not show that. It doesn't reflect in the level of detail. I'm telling you, for the price point of the Avengers Hulk, actually, I'll grab it right now. Brian, grab a few of yours.
I'm grabbing it right now.
Pretty sure I just showed the whole world my ass crack as I stood up, but that's all right. All right,
okay,
so
the camera was on Brian.
Not on my screen. So this is the Avengers Artifacts statue. I think the price point is around $60 or $70. It is in two pieces.
Look at that butt.
It is in two pieces.
Make him twerk.
Yeah. Yeah, get it. He
Also, what he does with it and is
yeah,
off the podcast.
it is two
It's
pieces,
almost
but
not
you
that
can't
full.
really
Not
even
that full.
tell. The head is a separate piece right here by the jawline. It just kind of snaps on. You honestly can't tell at all, but the level of detail, the shading, the painting, they truly are a piece of art, not just like a toy per se. Brian, you've got a couple of them.
Yeah. I have some of them I grabbed, like the Thor. Like, same with him. His head, his torso, and his arms are in separate pieces, but you can't tell at all. And the material it's made is like a hard, thick plastic. I mean,
Yeah, they're fairly heavy. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not like light plastic GI Joe type figurines.
same with the Boba Fett, and the Boba Fett actually came with two other arms where he's aiming the gauntlet flamethrower.
Posing differently.
Yeah, but the DC characters are one piece, but they're also just as awesome.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
I mean, the only other piece that the Nightwing came with that was separate is his baton.
Yeah, you should
They've
check
got a-
these out for sure. I know
they've got a
Topher,
few
you've got a
different
handful
lines.
of them, don't you?
Yeah, they've got a few different lines. There's the artifacts. They also do a Bishojo line, which is basically like an anime style. Like they do a lot of the different female characters with like anime style faces that are kind of cool. Yeah, I've bought my girlfriend a few of them. They're not here; they're at her office. But like we've got the Kitty Pryde, Jaina Solo from Star Wars.
You got the
Batgirl,
the X,
Barbara Gordon Batgirl,
the X
X-23,
yeah.
X-23. Yeah, and they're all like really good. They're awesome. Like for the price and the quality, like you pretty
can't
much
beat
can't
it.
beat them.
Yeah, that's definitely.
They have a Deadpool coming out for those of you who are interested out there in the YouTube verse or listening to us anywhere else. That actually is pretty nifty. It comes with a thing he holds, and it's a dry erase board where you can write anything you want on it.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
like
it comes out in next month or May or April. They also have a line coming out, which Topher's not here, he'd be interested in. Their next Marvel line is a Marvel Now X-Men.
Oh wow.
Like, it's Cyclops, Magneto, Wolverine.
I think it's a testament to the quality of these collectibles that, we're, first of all, let me just, as a disclaimer, we're not sponsored by them. They didn't pay us to advertise their
I
stuff
wish we were.
in any way, shape, or form. We're not affiliated with them. We just, as collectors, as comic book enthusiasts, really, really appreciate the quality and price point of these products. So if you're a fellow collector looking for something to decorate your home or office, man cave, whatever it might be, the art effect stuff is definitely the way to go. For the quality of product that you get for the price that you pay is unparalleled anywhere out there for sure.
Who's that with the Marvel Now X-Men stuff coming out?
Kotobukiya also. That's their next Marvel one.
Shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
like Cyclops is in his
in the
Marvel
red
Now
and black
costume.
with the X. Oh god,
Yeah.
I fucking love that costume. I'm gonna have to get one of those. Damn it, you're
That's
right.
awesome. It is
You're
going to
right.
be expensive.
This is going to be an
I don't know when they come out, but they like previewed them in their newest magazine, and they weren't colored or anything.
The Marvel Select ones are pretty badass too.
I have
Yeah,
a whole,
I have that
a
Deadpool
Hulk
too.
one,
That's the Deadpool I've got.
Yeah,
Some
I
of
have
them
that
are
one too.
some of them are pretty sick. I mean, the painting on them, like the shading and whatnot, is really good, and it's cool because like they're like $25, and some of them aren't that. Like the Cyclops one of this is like the old school, like old uniform. Like there's a picture of him on the back. Like I wouldn't pay $25 for that. I wouldn't, But
Yeah.
like the Juggernaut one, and I know Fox has got the
I
Hulk
have
one
the
sitting
Hulk
over there
one.
on on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
They're still $25, and these things are like, man, I picked up that Juggernaut statue. I almost bought one the other day, and that sucker was heavy. Dude's like,
they're nice. The
like over
Juggernaut
5
one's really
pounds,
nice.
like fucking solid.
I'm not
it was
even
$25.
I'm not even a huge X-Men fan, and I've considered getting that just because that particular one, the Marvel Legends Juggernaut, like, it's not really a statue, it's more of like an action figure. It's just a large action figure. Is really, really nice. It's definitely a nice piece. Okay.
DC.
Enough about toys. Let's move on to the next bit. Did anyone else get to see the first look at the CBS Supergirl costume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirate,
It's all over Facebook.
What's your thoughts?
I think it looks good. I think the costume. I think it fits. I mean, it definitely gives it a modernized version of what the one chick when they had the last show. What was her name? Oh shit, I can't remember what her name was. But it's more like it's the dark blue. You know, like it's going on in the Man of Steel. It kind of gives it that. It almost had that like armor look to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like how it's like the lines in it and stuff. I don't know. I'm excited to see how well it turns out. Like as far as,
I'm excited to see the show. I think the outfit looks stupid as fuck.
Really?
I don't know particularly why I feel so strongly about that, but I just don't like it. I don't think it looks.
What don't you like about it?
When I read like the Supergirl comics and stuff, it's obviously much brighter. It's much more girly of an outfit.
They had the Man of Steel color tone on it.
Yeah, and I just don't care for it. I just don't. It's too bland. It's too like all the colors are fairly similar. Like the blue is not that far off from the red, and it just doesn't pop. It just doesn't look that good.
It does look a little dark and depressing. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's just
not cheerful.
That's the one thing. Like when I read the Supergirl comics, is like you look at her and she's that kind of cheerful character. That's her. Like that's what she looks like. That's the image that she's always presented. And part of that is those bright colors. And I know they're not going to go with that bright, but I think they should have done something a little bit different than where they went with it.
I think part of the problem is if you're going to do costumes nowadays, you either have to do the older so you've got the style and you've got the colors. Now they went with an old style with new colors, and I think that's like the worst combination. Like
yeah,
you
it just
can't
doesn't
go,
look right.
Like if you go the old, very plain style, then you have to use the bright colors. Otherwise, it looks like
dumb.
Old, dingy, and drab. Like, you know, if you're going to go with the dark colors like that, then you need to spruce them up, but you need to have, like, the more modern, like, the straps and the Kevlar look. And, you know, like, it has to you have to update style, you know, for the dark colors to look, you know, cool. Like, having the old style with new dark colors... Yeah,
it just kind of gives you this feel that's like, no thanks. I don't know. Brian, what do you think about it? You saw it.
I don't mind the suit, like how it looks. The colors are, I agree. The colors are dark. I mean, but also like look at the other DC shows. The Flash, his red is dark, and they don't even have the white.
But if you look at his outfit, it's like Topher said. It's a current modern style looking material and outfit. Like the way that they put it together makes it look like something that was recently made. This shit looks like a 1950s flapper dress that just happens to be made out of like some kind of fucking Kevlar material. And it's like
they went with like it almost looks like Henry Cavill's suit a little bit.
Yeah. The material looks identical to Henry Cavill's suit, but the style is like something out of fucking Back to the Future.
They kind of went with the old school. Like if you look at the pictures of the old Supergirl outfit from the old TV show, like it kind of looks like that.
It would be like if they took
pants on her.
if it'd be like if they made a TV show and took the old like Jay Garrick Flash, the one with like the metal helmet and the fucking lightning bolts on the side of it, and made it out of like a fucking like that bulletproof Kevlar looking like
Almost like the Earth 2 Flash
you know,
looks like.
like you wouldn't make his outfit out of that. Like it would look out of place, and that's kind of what I think Topher hit the nail right on the head. Like you can't take the new material and style, like colors and stuff like that, and put it on the old like costume design because it
Maybe
just
they'll
doesn't
change the
fit.
costume like what Arrow had a costume in the first season, different one.
I hope so, because I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try and watch that show. I'm interested to see. I think that's a big step for the comic book community as a whole. The fact that they're coming out with a comic book TV show that is directly targeting female audience. I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a good step.
It's the show's going to be written and run by Andy Kreisberg and Greg Berlanti, the guys who are doing Arrow and Flash. So I mean, like it's gonna be
It'll probably be pretty good.
It's gonna be quality.
It's going to be interesting for sure. There's lots of stuff out there, so I'm excited to see it for sure. But well, that's about all we've got this week. We'll see you guys next week. We have a guest on the show next week, Adam Lash, stand-up comedian, podcaster, webisode actor. It's a really good episode. You guys make sure you check it out next Wednesday. I'm Fox 2. We got Pirate.
Have a good one.
Topher.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
That was
I
my
have to go back
impression.
to Pirate and just look how just unexcited he seems right now.
You seem upset, buddy. You okay? You okay?
I don't have any statues.
You want a hug?
I feel bad because I don't have any statues.
Do we
So,
need to have Dr. Phil on as a guest?
Why the hell would Dr. Phil need to be on? And plus,
Cheer
I'm
your ass
sober.
up.
No.
All right, and we got
Okay, guys. See you guys. Have a good one.
there you go.
Yay!
And there we got the whole effing Brian.
I've got plenty of statues. I'm gonna go play with them.